Is this okay?
Someone please include this in tonight's meeting, notes from the residents. Thanks for your attention to the potholes on Market Creek leading up to Jacqueline Road. Now, if we can get some attention on Jacqueline Road, it would be great. Just downhill from the Sports residents, 433, and the Regal residents, 819. We have been dealing with major erosion for many years, and nothing has been done. Rainwater is creating new gullies on the road, making the road hard to navigate. When more rain and ice come, I am worried for what we will have to deal with. It's a safety and emergent concern. Emergency services cannot access homes in ice and snow conditions. We have been doing this for at least 3+ years, and the matter is being neglected. Thank you for your attention. And it looks as though maybe some emails have been trying to get through from this person, but they're not.
Yeah, I already read all that. That was here. It was from has been in contact as well.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to bring it up, let others maybe know and let everybody know tomorrow as well, because I didn't get it until after.
Yes. Okay, and I do know that Jacqueline has had some attention to it. So I know that it's not really not because it is an erosion issue, but I know that there has been some that you concur.
Yeah, there has been some stuff on there. All the equipment's on the ground right now. Actually, I got it all far. Because it was the next closest one, so once they're done up there, we can go try to take care of some of this. But our graders got some fault codes that come up forward, and we're kind of mercy each other here, and you need to see maybe first to get something figured out.
Okay. Anyone else want to see residents? Okay, we'll move on to Athens Township Planning Commission. The Green Solar Development is moved to October. They're hoping, I think, to get answers from planning. Is that right?
And then they'll be at the planning meeting again, moving to the first supervisor meeting, and they'll be in town for that timeframe. And they didn't have any report.
The Township Fire Company, we did get their report. The total calls were 14. Their total personnel hours for response and training was 126 hours, and Tim Smith was in attendance, he did send a letter of interest. That was,
Yeah, these are the approved minutes.
I was gonna say, we approved that.
Yeah. They send the approved minutes, they don't send the draft minutes.
And
that's
so
separate.
their next meeting was September 15th. So we'll get those minutes next week. Parks Commission,
I did not receive leads, he was in today, but he would get, try to get that to me before the meeting, but I didn't.
Great. Next, in the Public Works Department, the Miller Road Bridge repair update. I think we have,
We just literally, just got, the invoice for those repairs. And they sent some pictures, so not everyone has the pictures. I think I got everybody the invoice, but I don't think I got everybody the pictures, so I did send them quickly. They finished last week. They're coming to do the inspection this week at some point. And I wanted to at least have them for review.
What did that total come to?
16,500.
who took these?
The Vermilion Construction.
You said inspection this week,
Yep. They're doing the inspection.
and 16.5 is what I have for jail. It does say in this report that, the township should be able to restore to the previous posting.
Yes, once they do that inspection and we get that information, we can start that. I don't have anything like anywhere for the area or something other than it. You already have calls. Please go, right, and all kinds of questions. So, yeah, apparently it's in pretty good shape.
Okay. Murray Creek Road. The conservation project final inspection is revisited. Since they're reviewing the situation, and they surveyed the abutment to approaching pavement, the to approach paving, and they're coming up with a plan.
Yeah, they have
Down there, there's markings on that.
to we'll wait for the.
There's supposed to be something.
Have you heard anything else about the lighting?
No, this was, I get my email, it's very good, like the date on the back.
I don't know if
It's like the front page, it's just the date.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, yep.
It's just another thing about Aaron Road. I got a call about 18 wheelers going down Aaron Road already, the day after it was paved. I assume it's posted 10 ton. Is there any way we can make sure the signs are clear, legible, and maybe get the police to sit there from time to time?
I
for
did
an hour or
call
so?
to the police and let them know.
Because the road won't last long.
So, I was gonna say, I had a question on that officially, what you guys can do to enforce without having scales or whatever.
So, it was brought up, Megan called me, when she found out, this stuff. That day, the only, I guess you would say, big vehicle that I saw out there was Bishop's dump truck with the trailer to load their equipment out. But during my driving up and down through there, yes, it looked like some vehicles were going faster than that speed limit. I mentioned it to the chief and the sergeant. And then Friday, they took a trip down there themselves. And there was one of the residents there that we determined would be the best area for us to be able to put some speed lines there. And I know they went to go talk to that resident to see if we had their permission to use their driveway. So that's there at that spot. I know Aaron Road again, on my patrols through there, if you're coming up Wolcott Hollow on there, yes, you can see that wait time. I do not see one coming off, Mile Lane, not Mile Lane, but, Mile Road up, that I do not see one there. If there's one close to there, that would help. We can enforce, that stuff if it is properly posted and we can catch them out there. And like back to what you said, once we can get permission from the homeowners and we can have some place to sit there with the lines, we will be up there, making sure that people know that you can't be forced plan on that, driving fast. Like you said, it is brand new and that stuff goes on the kind of fast. But right now, if we don't have any lines, there's no way that we can enforce any speed. But like I said, they were reaching out to that one homeowner to see if we had permission to use their spot. That would be the best spot for us to run up speed right there.
I'm sorry, Brad, who was reaching out to them?
The chief and sergeant
That's
were.
what I thought.
Yep. Because I told them that throughout my patrol in there, that there was this one place that, because our lines are 200 foot. And that specific place I found was really the only place that would give us that advantage plus the 200 foot where we could see good enough, where there was no curves, no trees, no nothing in the way. So they were gonna go, they drove it, was gonna talk to the owners as well. And once that was approved and done, we're out there, we're gonna do the lines, and then we'll be out there a lot more for that.
One other thing, the 10-ton sign we need on the south end of that road, would you guys please let the road crew know where to put that? Because there is a proper place for that sign to be. We got beat on one of those signs when the gas guys came. There was an attorney that was smart enough to know that our sign was in the wrong place.
So from, you be coming off
The
Island Road on
Yeah.
there? Yeah, we would just need to know how far,
That's what, and I think that's where you guys come in.
yeah, we could look that up and we could do
And
that.
let them know where to put it.
I'll let them know to get in touch. Yep, figure it out, yep.
That's great. Thanks, Brad.
So, Aaron Road is fabulous. It's the most beautiful road around. However, I don't know why they quit before they got to the end. It was like the last, 25, 30 yards? It just didn't do anything. So, you guys have been there, see it? What happened there?
That's where the estimate went to, was up to the bridge.
Bridge.
Yeah, there's only.
Yeah. the little-
Oh, you're not talking about where and then it makes the line?
Yeah, before we get the line, where the pavement wasn't redone.
So that was a glitch in the
Estimate was
contract?
only- It was just all it was estimated to do. I don't know, I didn't talk to Garrett as to why it wasn't going beyond that, or Steve Kimo myself. So I don't have an answer as to why. I can reach out to Steve and find out.
I just don't want to make that same mistake. That just ruined a beautiful road, man. It is gorgeous. They did a wonderful job on it. Really nice.
Okay, next looking at the secret invoice. There's two invoices. The first shows the wage change.
From, Mike running the grader for the.
Right. So that took that amount from 81,972 to 80,748 or 748. And then the second one was 155,753.
He quoted them, or he invoiced them as two separate ones because that Center Street had been added after the fact. So he didn't want to have it all included in one since it was bid out at first as separate.
Okay, so.
Have we gotten any further on going back to asphalt, those roads over there, that super road?
I don't believe that we have only because we're still in process of interviewing for a new road supervisor. And there was not an updated plan to my knowledge. Matt, do you know of one?
No, it was just, like I said, the base had to be reclaimed, that's what the process was, cost-wise. It would have been way too much to add blacktop on top of that this year, so.
And the
within-
utilities had,
Yeah,
they were
and there's
for
some
years.
other stuff that's gotta go on utility wise, so I'll say within the next 2 years, I don't wanna pin down and say, hey, this is when it's gonna be done, but we still need to figure out what the budget's even gonna be for next year before we can come up with what we can do as far as the projects go.
So how do you reach a decision where you're increasing new hire in the police department wages? And if I'm understanding it right, the others will raise commensurately with that. How do you arrive at that kind of budget decision for that, but you can't for the blacktop?
Because every year that, for the amount of people that we have on the road crew, or the amount of people that we have in the police department, it's budgeted for the maximum rate for each and every employee every year. We have to budget for that. But they have a progression based on the union contract for what to go through.
How many applicants have you gotten for the road positions that are vacant?
Ones that are viable,
How many in total?
in total, I couldn't tell you the number, a lot.
I bet you it's probably 10 for Public Works, maybe just as many for Treasurer. I rough guess 5 or 6 for the superintendent spot. I did correlate them in my computer by job. I did not count them, as I am not technologically savvy, so that was an exercise. But there are several qualified, probably less than half of the applicants that we got for any of the positions.
Have others resigned since the treasurer, the superintendent, and the guy that resigned the same night is
So
them?
far, one has, and I believe the other one is due tomorrow.
Such they said.
So are we down to 2 people in public
3.
works? 3.
And our temporary guy quit.
Okay.
Do you have a plan for addressing this big hole? I mean, did a contract out the work that you're not paying wages for right now? Or, are you gonna be able to fill in the blanks somehow without hiring somebody that's less than perfect for the job? You can't just, go to Burger King and, pull a
Right.
guy out, and you don't wanna take somebody and push them up when they're not ready, because I think we've already been there, done that,
Yeah, we have that later on in the agenda that we're gonna address. It's number 12. Under the consider and discuss section.
Executive session.
This executive session thing.
Nope, it's right there on, under where it says consider and discuss the following. It's just on the back page. It's number 12. It says township vacancies.
Yeah, there it is. All right, thank you.
So we'll get there. So with this invoice, is this something that we need to,
So this will come out of liquid fuels, and so the total comes to $236 or $236,501. And so that is coming out of your line item for 39200, and we'll have $200 left.
so we hit the budget limit.
Yay.
So I think we should make a motion to make that payment.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? pay the suit coat invoice. Okay, next we have a Bishop Brothers invoice and letter. There were a few questions on this, and Matt, you said that you kind of got clarification on these.
Yeah, I had somebody reach out to me from Bishop's. They said that Miller Soil Solutions, who was doing the work, subbed out by Bishop's, ran into, basically the conditions weren't ideal or what they were told they were going to be. They came up with a bunch of fabric at shallow depths, a lot of big cobblestone, and it beat the snot out of their milling machine. Yep. So they're looking for extra funds to compensate them for the damages to their milling machine.
I thought they did soil borings and testing before they did this,
Suco did core samples.
and it didn't pick up any of this stuff.
I mean, there's fabric down there, but I guess the depths have changed for where the fabric was and where the cobblestone stuff was underneath what blacktop was left on it.
So I guess my question is, some of the notes that Steve Kehoe had were that damaged drum should be at the cost of the subcontractor. And it says here, unless someone from the township directed them to perform a certain task that directly caused the damage.
Bishops, they subbed Miller out, and Bishops gave them the scope of work, and that's what they completed.
And then it says, even then, some proof must be provided to the township of how or where exactly the damage occurred on the project site.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like that's at the cost of the subcontractor. And then the last page, the letter, is saying that the Bishop Brothers is seeking a 10% markup over the amount they are requesting.
Yeah. He said he doesn't care about the markup, he doesn't need to make money on that, obviously, but Bishops was asking the township to at least meet them halfway, or to be willing to pay something to compensate Miller. Bishops is going to take care of Miller on that end. They were asking if we would help them out with that. As far as that goes, I mean, I don't know where our liability lies or what the legalities of that are. It, I guess, sounds like more of a good faith thing, or working with the contractor, however you want to word it.
I mean, John, what are your thoughts?
I reached out to their counsel, and he kind of confirmed the same thing that Matt's indicated as far as they're looking at a contribution. They would like to open up the lines of communication, and there is a hope, I guess, that the municipality will make a contribution. I don't know, without looking at the contract, whether or not we're legally obligated to, but clearly they are taking the position that it was due to circumstances beyond their ability to determine, that there was differing thicknesses of the material. They got into some things that they were not expecting, and as a result of that, there was damage to the equipment.
And Matt, you're saying that even though this letter says that they want a 10% markup,
Yeah, a representative from Bishops that reached out to me said that they're not looking to make money, obviously, on a compensation to their subcontractor. So he said that the billing and stuff got sent out the door, they put a markup on whatever they provide services for, so that got tacked on there as well, so they're not looking for a markup on that, they're just looking for some help or some compensation to go towards that, even if they're being halfway, they said. I mean, from a business standpoint, I wouldn't wanna pay a dime more than what I had to for anything, especially if it's a scope work, that's a contractor working under a GC, it's just cost of business, but for the sake of a relationship for a viable contractor for future work, I mean, that's a choice I guess you guys have to make on what you wanna do with that.
I mean, from a strictly liability perspective, I think they would have a very tough time indicating that we were in some way negligent when we did do the bore borings. I think we did our due diligence, and really liability would be hard
Yeah, it'd be hard to prove on
to
the
prove.
person that's doing it, but that's what, I'm not in this guy's side before, I'm taking shorts, it's just unfortunate for this.
So how much money are we talking?
$5,000.
In total, but they were asking if we could go halfway with them on it, so it'd be $2,500.
So in relation to the whole project, where are we on the budget without
So,
$5,100?
well, including, if you included their total bill, the 174. So this is going out of Act 13 because we had that line item specifically for Aaron Road.
Right.
So right now, left or remaining in that line item, is 439,200 is 278,000. So at the 174,000, we still have the 100,000 there. I know we had to obligate some funding for the bridge,
Right.
so that was kind of part of that. So we're still under what we budgeted for.
And then what is this, the 2A tonnage?
So that was an increase, and I was just gonna ask about that. So on the initial bid, so this is kind of a Steve Kehoe thing, so he had 287 tons, estimated, and that was there, and then that went up substantially, so it's at 480 now, is what was used on the road, which I think was a lot of the conversation going back and forth on this, but they did leave it at the bid price at $35.17. So I think that's correct. That was one thing I was just gonna ask if Steve mentioned anything in that email.
He did. He said, did a township official okay for it to go over?
Right, so, and if they didn't reach out, yeah, there is that conversation, because if you didn't approve it,
A lot.
right, it's almost double. So I don't know if there was a conversation with anybody.
Garrett said something.
Garrett would have been gone by then?
No,
You would have been there? So,
Yeah, I mean, just guessing, I guess a stabbing dart, I can only assume it's because of the amount of clays in the spots they went for it, it's just speculating. Yeah, I can reach out to bishops and find out why.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, that's $7,000. I say we table this until we find out more from bishops. Anyone else?
Is that a motion?
Yeah.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the dump box outfit quotes.
I received the itemized quote from Watson's and one from SEI and another today from Grantro. I did talk with Zach and the rest of the road crew about the quotes because I'm not familiar with any of the equipment. And they had some suggestions they wanted to bring to the table as far as what they feel would be the best setup, which is not in any of these quotes, for the equipment to last longer and to be what we need for the roads all around. So,
I'm not prepared to spend money on something that we don't need, so I feel like we need to have a little bit more input from them before we make any decision on any of that. So I would also table the dog box outfit quote, and I would meet with them tomorrow to come get me whenever they're available. So
we can discuss, they gave me all kinds of information, and I kind of understand, but again, I wanna make sure that I have it, how they are meaning for it to be presented to get these requoted. Right.
Okay, well, I'll make the motion to table.
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the Teamsters Union contract and the Public Works for review. I looked at this.
I noticed on the wages one, that's from, it's not the new one, it's from the last one.
I don't know.
I didn't pick them up because I didn't,
I just wanted to be.
that was in the packet that Belinda sent me.
Yeah, it has the 24 and 25 wages, but it doesn't have updated.
I think, we're trying to decide if Mike, Mike doesn't have this, is that right?
I didn't know if you, was this supposed to be having this next, right? We need one.
I think it's just negotiations and discussion, maybe we can review that, is that right?
I mean, yeah, I have no issue reviewing, but
Just making sure
Good job.
I'm doing the right thing here.
Yeah.
Have your name on it.
Lauren, where are you looking? I'm sorry.
The contract is basically the last page 22. It's the appendix A for the wages. My copy has the 24 and
It's not
25 rates.
updated?
Yeah.
it's not. So maybe to give that feedback to her. I think if anybody else has any feedback to give to her, just let her know. Is she planning to come back or no? No, not yet. That page? Oh yeah, I know, I saw that on the to-do list too. Okay. The next acting director for superintendent. What, Matt, have you been doing anything with them? What is,
Yeah, I sure have, as much as I can.
that's what?
I said I sure have, as much as I can.
Okay.
They're just making sure they're working on the list like Gary left, and that they have stuff going on each day, that they can keep moving forward. We'll probably burn up the rest of the material that we reallocated money for in the next week or two, probably for road material, and then we'll get out of that. Still got the stuff in the cleanup from the truck fire to get rid of. That's in the works, and then we're gonna get some cold patch in once that pad's prepped. So we have stuff for between there to work on potholes and things like that, and then the guys are gonna be finding out what snowplow blades need to be ordered so we can get that stuff going, and skid, salt, so on and so forth. And then work on prep when they can in between weather, when they're not out doing road work or snow stuff, whether it be spreaders or plows, to get things preventative maintenance done so they can throw stuff on the back.
Okay. The to-do list before winter says anti-skid and sand needs to be purchased before the end of October. Is that concurrent with what you're seeing? And if so, how are we going to plan to do that before the end of October?
Good question, I don't have an answer to yet, I'm working on it.
Oh, what, is this done?
Before?
Yeah.
We did
Well, and a lot of that's gonna be based off of what we have left too, so.
Okay. Thank you for that, Matt. Okay, township police. We do have the monthly calls for service report. For 7 total arrests with 31 reported or investigated. 249 calls for service. And talked to Watershed, he said that the new guy we're on, he's doing okay.
Yeah.
That's what he had said, so that's good. Next, I need a motion to accept the monthly reports.
I have one for planning, the meeting, and I don't have a card.
And that's why.
Right.
Top of the location.
And junkyard inspections were being redone. We're done, we're redone, and we're being approved, we're roped in with the building permits. report. And I did, the previous reports for the permits were not, they didn't need to be revised because it didn't, the letter, that one letter that was in question did not go out until the next month. It wasn't received until that next month, so it wasn't included in that report.
Oh, okay.
So the ones that were possibly needed to be amended did not need to be amended.
Does anyone have a question about the reports before we do anything with the? Okay, so I just need a motion to accept.
I'll make that motion to accept the monthly reports.
Oh, something. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Anything different, in addition, the junkyard inspection? Have that in the minutes?
I don't
Is there an amendment? I
see
thought
that here.
it
It's
was
not
made.
on
They were
there.
already taken care of.
They weren't, it wasn't in the minutes that they were
Approved.
approved to move forward with the. She said they'd be
Yeah, we talked-
reviewed with, accepted with the reports.
Yeah, we talked about that in the last meeting, that they were, that the deficiencies were taken care of.
Yeah.
So it's okay to include, since they're included in that list, that this motion covers that, okay, I just wanna make sure that it's all covered.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
So I have a couple of questions, not about the reports, about the road crew. So wages paid to the road crew, if you don't, you don't have a road crew really, you've got 3 people, right? So can those wages, whatever line item they come out of for those, can they be turned around to be used to pay contractors to do work? Is that like reallocated? Because there's gonna be a savings
You're saying
there.
in lieu of, like, if we didn't have a road crew, we would just
In lieu of the road crew positions you don't have filled right now, taking those funds to try and contract some of the work that needs to be done, that isn't necessarily in the budget for 25, but because of the situation, you may be realizing a savings. How much is that gonna be? Can you reallocate that to maybe do a contract and asphalt the street? I have no clue how much it costs or how much, and it's hard calling it savings, but the delta.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, and I guess essentially if we don't have that going out the door, then yes, that money's there.
Could be.
Depending on the project, you could maybe spend it on some of that stuff, but as far as, like, say that, this year, I don't think it would be, for the season for them to do blacktop, it's probably out of the realm. To get somebody to bid it, go through the bid process and everything else for this year, it probably wouldn't be able to happen time-wise with the weather. I know the blacktop, like, the roads have gotta be above 40 degrees minimum for them to even be able to lay the blacktop and have it lined, so, like I said, by the time everything got done, it probably wouldn't be able to happen this year.
So there's still a delta that could be maybe reallocated to do that at some point.
Maybe not, because when it comes right down to it, we are obligated to keep a particular number of members of the bargaining unit. So our first goal has to be to replace those members of the department. And
But for the
to ask
interim,
them to ask for the union to allow other individuals to do union work is probably not going to happen. So as it comes right down to it, I don't believe we're gonna be able to reallocate due to the fact that it is a union shop.
Yeah, it might be different if, say they all died in a plane crash.
So either way, the positions aren't filled, so
Right, but
that doesn't make
right,
sense.
but the point is if we were even allowed to reallocate 3 workers' wages to some other project, you now can't hire 3 workers because you just allocated that money.
I'm only
for the rest of
talking
their
about the
wages.
delta for the time period that those aren't filled, not,
Hopefully that time period
not
will be
later.
pretty short because we have applicants who are in the process of interviews so that there may be a day or 2, hopefully not more than that, that we don't have guys out. I mean, am I right?
Yeah, I don't think it would amount to enough to be able to do,
Anything.
sub anybody out to do the project, realistically. We've
So-
got some applicants, there are some viable ones that we've already interviewed that we had discussed and talk about offering the position. And it's a-
So given that, a couple of meetings ago, there was a couple of people here saying that, they were talking about overtime for the road crew. The road crew works 4 days a week, 10 hours a day. Are they working 5 hours? Are they, these 3 people, are they
They go back to
doing
their,
more? Are they,
They go back to their 5-day work week on, I think the 2nd is their last day of.
but they're,
4 days.
but they're still
After
now
that,
on 4 day?
Yep.
yeah, they go back to 5
Yeah,
days
so
after the
next
2nd.
week will be the last week on the summer hours, then they go back to their hours.
Thank you.
Okay, motion to pay the bills. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have approve of the minutes for the supervisor meeting on 9/10.
I'll let that motion approve the minutes.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to Baker Tilly, the update and the DCED draft for review. I don't see that. Am I missing something?
I didn't want to bring to all again, because I didn't know if everybody needed a second copy of it.
I didn't either, but
There was nothing changed to the one that we had received at the last meeting.
so there's nothing we can do with that. The expand energy lease,
Doesn't that need to be approved?
Yeah, I believe that we will have to take affirmative action to approve
It
that.
has to be filed by the 30th.
And then the way to meet that deadline would be to approve it.
well, and I remember we had talked about it last time when you were not here, and we wanted to make sure that you didn't have any issue or question with it.
They actually had called me today, and I went through an additional line of questioning with them, and so I have no issue with it. I think that at this point in time, we'd be well advised to approve the submission.
So does anyone have a motion?
I'll make that motion. Accept, please.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next is discussing the minimum municipal obligations for the 2026 pension plan. Yeah, that's what we just did.
Talking about the Baker Tilly.
No. This is the experience. John talked with them, questioned them. He said we'd do all guys. Baker Tilly, we didn't have anything we could do. Nothing changed.
That's what we need to have.
Right. No, I think the Baker Tilly is the one that I think we need to approve the submission at the hop. Because single audit is due.
Without that piece?
What's that?
Without that piece?
Yes, because they indicated point blank that it would not be a deficiency that would be problematic from the township's perspective, because there's no way that we can complete
That
the industrial, right. And in addition there too, I know that Megan has had further discussions with Baker Tilly and also with the insurance representative, and he had advised it would be a good thing for us to do by the next audit.
That
so that we
industrial
would have-
hotel, got it. But it doesn't need to be done for the
Correct.
DCED.
Correct. Okay, then I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, now on to the MMOs for 2026. I mean, at this point, there's really nothing that we can do about it. It's the rate sheet schedule that is pretty uniform.
Submitted. I didn't come up.
I don't have any questions or problems with this. Anyone else?
Or, how far off were we on the budget from last year to this? Do you know? Oh, sorry.
So last year, I remember him saying that they didn't get it all.
We didn't get it yet, right? We haven't gotten from the state, so I
Okay.
don't know, I can pull it up for you right now,
Okay.
sorry.
What does the pension tell us what the MMO is? So,
The actuary is.
money from the state
Yeah.
is not that, right?
Right, it's not, it doesn't cover it.
Right, so we still have to budget for this number. And then if you get money from the state,
Cool.
great, if not, we've already secured money to pay for it.
Great. Any questions? You don't have to do anything with that. Is it?
Yeah, there's,
Alright, well, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Alright.
Any opposed?
I do wish to revisit and expand, are we amenable to going forward? Do we want to request additional months? Or are there any other terms that we would prefer? The reason I ask that is that it appeared to be like they're open salvo, and I'm not sure that we could at least ask for a little bit more upfront. Or
I
high
see what you
percent.
mean. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot.
And even if it's just a few $100 more per acre, certainly doesn't hurt.
Right? So can we authorize you to do that for us?
Yeah, he actually reached out to me again, recently, within the last week. I think it was probably last week. And he just asked whether or not we had any questions or anything, so I'm perfectly amenable to requesting to increase that offer.
So I'll, make a motion to authorize you to negotiate with Expand to increase.
How far do you want John to go?
I mean,
What do you want him to shoot for? 100's pretty much what they've been getting, what they've been offering. I would shoot for those.
yeah,
I'd go to 15.
That's what that was in the back of my mind, a reasonable
yeah,
request.
Is that part of your motion?
it is
Okay.
1,500, well, up to.
Start at 15.
Yes, start
Right.
right. Matt seconded that. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next we have the Teamsters Health and Hospital Fund. This is our renewal, and
I think there were a couple contracts that didn't list the 26 and 27 rates.
These are the ones that came packet that were expiring, that needed to be
Yes.
renewed.
Right,
okay,
but I do have those figures in here.
any questions on it then? No, we have a motion. For the renewal. Matt seconded. all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. The industrial appraisal quote,
So you did get that, it came in, at 7250, which I thought was pretty good for what all we're asking them to do with all the assets. Real property, your equipment, your roads, and, just general machinery and inventory belongings. So this, what they did suggest, they are backlogged about 8 months. So if John, if you review this contract, I don't know if you're good with it or not. And
I did not review it as of yet. I mean, I did look at the amount, but I wasn't sure if it was something the municipality was ready to engage. But I would just suggest if it sounds reasonable, to condition upon my review, and I'll do so very quick.
okay. So if we sign off on this, because nothing would be due until next year when they actually come out to do the field work, so it's the 60% will be due at the time that they come out and survey everything and collect that data. So we can put that in the budget for next year.
and, just, where would that come from? I'm not trying to be funny, but like, when we look at the budget.
So this is just a one-time thing. So then after that, the annual fee is $600.
Okay.
So this is like, okay, and then maybe in 10 years, you go back and look at this and do a real, dive down again. But otherwise, you're just going to be, okay, we got rid of this piece of equipment, we bought this piece of equipment, we sold, whatever. At the end of the year, you're kind of just giving them the update. They're gonna go through and proceed.
Okay.
What does that cost?
It's
The-
$7,250. But I mean, it's gonna be like a 600-page document. So you're gonna have a lot of information, and then your insurance companies are really into like that.
Yeah.
And it is nice and handy to have.
Well, clearly the audit has-
Right, and the audit wanted that, and so,
Okay.
that's us.
And we would just budget that for next year, but do we have a line item for that?
I meant to kind of go back and look, and I haven't quite figured, because I kind of just set that where we had it for the audit itself. So I don't know if there's a line item in there, but I will find one
Okay.
to make sure that that's.
Okay, is everybody comfortable? Going in there? Do we wanna accept, like, should we accept that?
I mean, just so you get
Contingent
a
on
mind,
John
yeah,
doing that?
and then we can go ahead and get on their list, so 8 months from now, they're out here and,
We can get it done?
yep, and then we're ready for your audit. Hopefully.
Alright, I'll make a motion to accept the appraisal quote contingent upon John's review of the contract. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the telephone system for the township.
North Tech and Teledare both requote similar. They said a lot of the, I guess, products were not going to be exactly the same, but they're equivalent. North Tech did like a simple, basic, and then a little bit more advanced. I know last time that they had quoted, they had 3, so it was like a high, a mid, and a low. He re-quoted the low and mid. Based on what's available now, and then Teledare re-quoted, but Teledare did hold the pricing the same as what they had quoted last year, and Northwest are a little bit, yeah. And then Teledare did say if the decision was to go with their quote, they would go in the actual phone service, which would save roughly $80 a month on regular phone service.
Can you tell us what those quotes are, or is that?
Yeah, so the North Tech quote, the quote that we have for the higher end is $17,167. Looks like that includes a unit with 6 stations and the install and tech support. The other one is $12,975, and that's with this Grand Stream station or Grand Stream system. And then it looks like 16 data drops. The Teledare system is $12,695, and that is including all parts, necessary cable runs, the software package completely installed, and then it has looks like the server as well as the 14 phones, jacks if we need replacement, 2-year warranty for parts and 1 year for labor. I'm sorry, I didn't.
I said 14 phones?
Well, so that would be, it says 14-year Yeelink 9308 VO IP phones. So I'm wondering if, so I mean, you have the office, you have Eddie, you have here, you have out front, you have Megan's office, you have, how many phones are out in the police?
6 at the PD,
Okay, so there's 11,
and then I don't know what's over in the shop.
so that
Those
would
guys.
be 3 for the shop.
No, no.
All the freaking shop.
Yeah, 2.
Oh.
There were 2 and there's one right inside the door.
So there's,
How many police officers are on call at one time in the office?
It depends.
Okay, average.
Alright, so day shift, you got 4.
So you get 6 phones?
So you got, chief has a phone, sergeant has his phone, and then our 3 desk has phones, which the one doesn't work. And then we have one upstairs, if we're upstairs, to put evidence or anything else up there. There's a phone up there that we can answer up there for upstairs.
so that's,
So those VoIP, aren't they wireless?
this says wall mount kit, well, this is like 2 wall mount kits, cords.
This seems like a local one.
Patch cords.
I don't understand what's on the bottom with Teledare.
Where,
On the front page. Because they got on here, they have a door phone for the township main entrance, a magnetic door lock, motion sensor, and a request to exit button.
oh, so that's, you know when you go in the building, you have to request to go in, and you have to push the button, and that's a phone that would request, like, if you push the button, yeah, you say, hey, can you unlock the door and let me in, it's the security system.
Okay,
So that if somebody's out front trying to talk to the police officer, you have to push the button, and then the police officer can talk to you, and then they can,
Oh, the phone box outside.
yeah, sorry, thank you.
Yeah, that, we call it the 911 call.
yeah, because that goes to Bradford County, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, all they gotta do, they just pick that up and, they gotta tell them who they need, want, and
So all dispatches and everything.
all those things. That'll be right.
Yeah, that's
So the bottom,
security.
these
That's
bottom
all
4
security.
are the security. That's not included with the North North Tech?
They get a hold of us. And.
North Tech is simply the phone service.
And theirs is at over 17.
Well, and the lesser of the 2 is 12.9, which is still more than this one completely, and it has the security in it.
Well, that's what yeah.
Yeah, right on another street.
Oh, Teledare, yeah,
I was talking about. Where's the other one?
Oh, the other one, I actually Googled it right when, well, not Googled it, I put it in the maps right before the meeting, and it is a P.O. box at UPS store.
So they're not even here.
They don't, well, the person is here, he lives here, I know the guy he came to do the last meeting, he lives here, but he doesn't have a physical address to his office, and it's just a P.O. box. So he must run out of his house. I'm assuming, or out of his van. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to be funny. Alright, so what do we wanna do? This is definitely something that's needed. I mean, obviously, the phones that don't work is budgeted.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
we did budget for this.
We did last year, right?
I mean, me personally, for what they're offering between the two, it seems like they're offering that and then some for price, I mean, compared to what everything is.
Television's in here with other stuff too, right? I mean, not here, but I mean, we have other equipment that they've installed here, right?
That's the,
Television,
isn't that what the current call system is?
oh,
That,
that's been here a long time.
is it to do with the discount on the actual phone service? And if
Yeah, that's nice
we,
too.
we went with their system, and then they kept it at the same price as last year, even though everything has kind of gone up.
Do we do one more head count on phones and get with the chief and then get with the guys, everybody here in the office, and just do one last head count on exactly what we need for phones, for sure? And then I mean, personally, I would go with Telenet, especially because they're right up the road and they're the cheapest price.
Can we do that with, I mean, because possibly there might be a way that the Teledare guy might be able to talk, when he comes, talks to everybody and says, oh, well, okay, this phone actually doesn't, you don't need here, or, you know, by replacing what we have, the old ones, maybe we don't need as many, so it might drop even more. But I wonder if he would need to, he wouldn't be able to do that until he gets here. I mean, I don't know, I don't,
I know he came, when I wasn't here when he came the first time, but he had been here to do the evaluations to the whole system. Oh, it's the same.
Got it, so that was his recommendation.
To start with, and then this is the requote based on how many were quoted. It's just, the only thing that's different is it's a different brand.
And Nortec has 16 phones. Telenet is 14 phones.
Right.
So if we can't be sure if we need 14 phones, we sure aren't gonna need 16 phones.
Correct.
So like I said, they've already priced in to both of their estimates, 2 more phones than Teledare, and it's quite possible instead of 14, we need 12.
Well,
And when you're receiving quotes, though, you should be careful to make sure that it's apples to apples. You know, if one has 16 phones and another has 14, I do think we have to be careful to make sure that we're evaluating those. And it should also come into play if Nortec is not producing a security system. That should also at least be taken into consideration to see if they have something similar.
I wonder why it's so different. So maybe let's table this and ask Megan to talk with both of them and get some clarification and let, you know, them know that they're not the same. Does this make sense?
I can,
Text is pretty vague too.
I can, do like I did with the Dropbox, and just kind of chunk this part out and send it, be like,
Yeah. Alright, so I'll make a motion to table.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have a municipal auction. It ended on the 18th for both the Tahoe and the spreader. How do we do?
the Tahoe was
$5,700.
$5,700 bid. The guy's been calling me every day, so he's legit. He's got a check ready. He just is coming on Friday. He's ready to go. So that one is absolutely 100% set. I have not heard from the spreader winner, which was sold for $2,000. I did also, when they did end the auction, I did email him and say that this would be brought to the meeting on this day, and I would be in touch afterward, pending the acceptance of your bid.
I make a motion we accept both municipal auction winners.
Before you do that,
Uh-huh.
can we, I haven't been on municipal bid, I don't have access to it, as far as like the administrative stuff goes for our things, but, or can we renege the, bid on the spreader?
You don't have to.
We don't have to accept
We don't,
it.
yeah, we don't have
We don't have to sell it.
Yeah,
Why?
I would rather, I mean, it's,
I don't think we should sell it not for $2,000. It costs $41,500.
Yeah.
I'd sit on it for 30 years
I was
before
gonna
I
say,
gave it away.
it's used, it's not worth what it was brand new, but it's still a big disparity from what we paid for it. I would rather sit on it, even if we try to repost it, say in like 2 months, when everything's getting in the grind as far as the weather goes, in 3 months and people are starting to panic buy, we might be a little more.
Yeah, we can list it for 90 days, 60 days.
We may want to reach out to some of the townships.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem with it, unfortunately, is it's 14 feet. It's a tank.
Yeah.
Does anyone have the capability to support a 14-foot box on their truck? So it may not, but for $2,000, I bet you I could scrap it, not magnetic stainless, for more than $2,000.
I kind of did a little bit of research, but I think Garrett wasn't sure what to post it at, what to start it at. Did just a little bit of looking through Municipid and a couple of other of those sites, the government sales sites like this, and they were all kind of right around that. Between like 2 and 4.
Yeah, a lot of spreaders don't translate well to the used market.
No.
But I just think because it's only 2 years old and what you paid for it, I could sit on it for a winter. And if we do it again next year and all we get is $2,000, then, you know, we tried. I don't think we should sell that yet.
I'm okay with that.
I'm with Matt, maybe repost it in November, see what happens, but it don't cost nothing to sit on the rack.
Is there any cost of maintaining it while you sit on it? Is there anything?
Just spray the chain belt down and the paddle drive with some oil.
So I would think that that should still happen, but it doesn't sound like it's
Yeah.
obstructive. That's not the right word I'm looking for.
All right,
It's
so,
not counterproductive
Prohibitive.
to keep it,
No, it doesn't sound it.
yeah, so.
so I'll make the motion to accept the 5,700 on the Tahoe.
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes.
I do have one question for you. The other ones that you were looking at, were they that new, or were they all significantly older?
They were like, I was trying to find the same size and same brand and same, yeah, but there were a lot of, and trying to find the same, in the same area too, because, you know, I mean,
One thing, are you here Friday? She can sign for this, couldn't she, for the Tahoe?
I have it right here to sign. Sign, signature, yeah,
John on the spot.
ahead of you.
Well, no, I was gonna make a motion that you ready for the sign,
Sorry.
so we don't have to run all over. Okay.
Can we also, I'll make the motion to not accept the spreader.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Alright, so, okay, let's do that in a minute. New signatory needed for the 2026 Western Star purchase. What's that?
Garrett was the one to sign for the truck when it came in, and
That's right. Can we designate Megan? I'll make a motion to designate Megan as our signatory for the 2026 Western Star.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Trick or treat
doesn't have a box on it, but
currently is scheduled for Thursday with the borough.
Waverly's Thursday,
Sarahborough's Thursday,
South Waverly's Thursday, yeah,
so.
Is it next Tuesday?
Thursday,
10:30.
Yeah, October. You know, his parents have to know.
I'll make a motion, what was the date?
October 30th, Thursday.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to do that.
What times? 6 to
What
8,
is that, is that what they're all doing?
6 to 8.
Summer 6 to 8.
Okay, 6 days.
I'll second. All in favor? Any opposed? Yes, motion passes. All right, the Aqua required backflow testing.
Every year, this is, Jeff Paul does it every year, they already kind of have us on the schedule, and I asked for the pricing, they said pricing's the same, it's $160 every year to come and do this, so.
I'll make a motion to move forward with the Aqua backflow testing. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, the Athens High School is requesting that we close Pennsylvania Avenue from 11:30 to 5 for the homecoming football game on the 11th of October. Well, the parade is in the morning, and then so if I understand this correctly, the parade is in the morning, then the football game.
We usually do it, spread it out into 2 different nights.
Yeah.
Or, like the night before is the parade and
And then the game
The
and
game is the
everything
next
is the
day.
next day, but this time they're doing it all at the same time, so it would be, I think the parade starts at 10, they're thinking it would end and be to the high school by 11:30. And then the game is, I think it's at 3,
they do the pre.
but then they have like vendors and bouncy houses and stuff for the kids to do in the end zone, or the truck, the food trucks are in the street and stuff. And then the game would then end. So
It
that's
says
what-
here from 11:30 to 5.
Yes, that's what they want it closed, just from 11:30 to 5.
The other thing in here, they asked though, we kindly request the presence of your department to assist with traffic control to the conclusion of the event. Don't we usually ask the fire police
To close it,
to do that?
yeah.
Okay, because I got the impression he wanted our police department to do
Well, usually, well, not usually. The last time when they started doing these fireworks, which is another thing,
Yeah, who approved that?
not it, that was the booster club, that was all the booster club. But Roger had to sign the permit, and Roger made sure to go over and he had the guy show him where he was letting them off and made sure to measure so that he was clear. And Roger sat over there that whole night in the ATV to make sure that, or that, whatever you call it, Can-Am or side-by-side, whatever, he sat in that thing the whole night to make sure that there was no goofiness. And then the very next game, they moved it to the borough, which I thought was nice.
I saw it there last Friday.
Yeah.
And we had no parking on that, those areas. And, usually on the weekends, there's usually a good 3 of us that's on pretty much any given time. So the other 2, if they're out patrolling whatever, then somebody goes there for the home games. And then again, we sit right there to make sure that nobody's interfering again where them fireworks are at. And I think even last year with the homecoming one, I know that we did, I know some of the SRO guys came in and they helped with the homecoming there with shutting down Pennsylvania Ave. I can't remember, I think that'd be something that the chief need to know again, is exactly from where to where. I wanna
So
say it
they
was
close it from Lynch's, driveway.
driveway, I
You
think it
have
was
to let the
there
trailer park go
to,
out.
was it to there or was it to Breslin?
It was not to Westland.
Alright, so it was at the,
It was at the
Little
Lynch
Spruce.
Buston. Well, yeah, it would be between the Lynch Buston entrance
yeah,
by Blue Spruce to Lily Avenue. So just that's,
yeah, cause I remember all the vendors and the bounce houses and stuff like that.
and SROs do go, so,
From Lynch to Pine Street.
no,
Mm.
it doesn't
No,
even go
Pine
all the way to
Street's
Pine
over.
Street, it
It's
just goes to
basically the Lynch
Lily.
plate, with
Well,
the,
basically the Lynch,
Oh, so
With
they
the
do
Lynch.
this stuff in, like
Yeah.
the school parking lot, I think.
Well, yeah, so everybody parks in the parking lot, and then all the vendors and stuff is just from the Lynch parking lot
Like
driving
Lily Avenue.
up to just shy of Blue Spruce. So there's not a whole lot that's being shut off. I mean, there's just a little portion, but there's enough detours where they can still maneuver in and out. And like I said, again, you're looking at like Friday and Saturdays, that's when we have most of our people out anyway. At nights, like I said, we could have anywhere between 3 to 4 of us until 11 p.m.
Well, and I know that the high school SRO will be there as well, so it's.
And I'm pretty sure one of our, because I know Mike did it last year, he likes doing it, and he had one of the SRO cars there, so I'm sure we'll probably have at least 2 guys that's gonna be there for it anyway, and then the rest of us will be in and out, patrolling around, and might give somebody a break over there.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot.
So
I was
you
just
just,
talking to you about that.
just me.
I need
So do y'all do like a concept of operations for this? Is it a written plan, or you just,
What's that?
do you do a concept of operations for this? Is there a written plan, like this officer is gonna be here at this time, or the SRO is gonna be here
Not
at this
written,
time?
no, but verbally, yes. We take it upon ourselves, that we don't need a written SOP for that. We could do it like, Joe, you're gonna be there from 3 to 4, and then Mike, you're gonna come in 4 to 5. So we do stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
We got a good group of guys that really don't need any written SOPs unless there's some big that you have to. Other than that, we just do verbally and we get the job done well.
So I just need a motion.
I'll make a motion. We'll go to Pennsylvania Avenue from 11:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on October 11th.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, township vacancies. I know that there were, and I know that Matt just walked out, and I know that they are in the process of interviewing. I don't know where we are in that process, how many people we have interviewed or anything like that.
I've done 2 for the operator position
Okay?
with Garrett. One of them, I guess, has been fairly aggressive in calling the office here about the job. Neither one met all the requirements, neither one had a CDL, neither one had plowing experience. And Matt has done some others, so he shuffles on who can hear. We do have a interview Monday at 5 for the director position with someone who is ridiculously qualified.
Matt, Mike just said that you've done 2 interviews for the operator position. You have an interview set up for Monday for the director position, just 1 interview. Were the other applicants called or? Like,
No, the one you wanted ended up calling it. The other one that we interviewed for the superintendent position, good on the managerial side, nothing with local government or anything whatsoever. So,
and then treasurer applications. We have not set up interviews yet as we're still rolling those in, but we were hoping to be able to do that. By the end, and then be able to pile if they stop. So,
Do you have one that you thought for the operator position?
yeah, for the operator position, I have 2 that I need to discuss with you guys, and I would like to
walls. I mean, what are your, you said,
So-
you know, first you said,
Perfect world, ideal would be CDL and equipment operation and snow removal experience.
right,
Of the applicants that we've had 2 that meet all those requirements. Which is one I have to set up, still be able to try to get an interview set up with him. One I'm looking forward with, the other guy would be low in the totem pole, but as far as the other applicants, still some things in his wheelhouse that would be a good fit here.
so previously you wouldn't hire a guy without a CDL. So now you got a guy that's a young buck and wants to come in and learn, so I mean, I guess you can't, I guess, let me back up. I also retired from the Coast Guard, there's certain boxes you have to check, right? And I don't think we're in a position to be in a training group right now, so how about if we change the parameters a little bit? It was like the fellow that retired with the beard, it said maybe knock some of the days off and holidays and all that crap, knock that back down to something more reasonable so that you can take that and make it a higher paying job, so that you can attract people who are more qualified instead of trying to make chicken salad, you know. Not that there's anything wrong with training somebody, but in the position that we're in right now, and I also think plowing is, I mean, how much of that is really plowing as a 365-day-a-year thing? Plowing is, I can see you need it, right? But I don't see that would be like the primary, you know, thing that you really need to know.
Until you're in one of those trucks on our roads, I'm telling you now.
But how many days a year, last year, did you?
It doesn't matter, it's still a valuable experience.
I got you.
And we were also minimal hiring guys without the CDL before. That was never they absolutely have to have it or they can't work here.
Right.
That's why Garrett got his trainer certificate to be able to train guys in-house for the CDL, and there's something else in the township. God, words escapes me. We have something set in place to be able to reimburse guys for getting the CDL once they're here. And then they're on the hook for X amount of time to be here after that, just to protect their investment.
There is a job classification for labor which specifically indicates an employee does not hold a CDL license. So that is a classification that we've acknowledged. And as far as knocking things down, again, that's up to the union. We just engage in union negotiations. We're in no position to start eliminating any type of days off or anything. It has to all be approved by the union as part of the negotiations.
However, if you have a strong collection of qualified people, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, that guy said he retired as some union thing. I work for the union on the alley on the waterfront in Charleston, and I know how the rules work, okay? But there's also concessions that you can make. So if you can say, you know, we'll bump up your pay $4 or $5 an hour, and then you swap off days off or all of the, you know, some of the amenities that go with being an employee in the union. And it is a negotiable point. I absolutely know that for a fact. Right. So I'm just saying, is that you're not squeezed into this little, you know, I gotta have this amount of money and 1,700 days off or whatever, right? I think you could get a better qualified person if you offered more money. So that's where I'm going with this, you know. That's what I think maybe it's worth, you know, chewing around a little bit, because you can't get the best if you're not gonna pay for more quality, right? That's my 2 cents there. So I think it's worth looking into. I mean, if the guy's sitting at home and he's not got a job, right? And you say, hey, you know, would you swap this for that? I mean, it's not the best job market in the world right now.
I mean, it actually, for operators and CDL drivers, that stuff is all coming back a lot. We're offering
Good.
a chunk more money for that. Yeah, no,
Good.
it's a good thing. It's great, especially for operators and CDL drivers.
Right, but don't, on my point, I guess, back to Garrett, I kind of feel like, and forgive me for saying this, I'm gonna say this from the heart, I kind of think like he was set up. I mean, in all honesty, he's 22 years old. That's very young to be put in the position that he was put into. That job, I think, requires a certain amount of experience and some, you know, trial by fire. somebody that's been in the job, that's gonna handle things when they come up instead of having to, you know, wonder what to do next, right?
Or where do you get that experience?
You pay more money.
Start.
You pay more money.
But those people that are in that situation, myself included, I started running a crew when I was 20. So I understand you have to get that experience from somewhere. It doesn't happen at 50 years old and all of a sudden you got all this. You have to start somewhere.
I understand. You
So
know,
that's
it's like fishing though. If you don't put your line in the water, you're not gonna catch it.
Yeah. I understand. And in normal situation where, like I'll say, Sarah Borough, as far as the municipality is concerned, and I've said this before, they have a couple of big projects, each year they budget for it, and then a bunch of maintenance. We are, everything is a big project, and that's where a lot of our bargaining as far as money goes with the guys is because we're spending so much more on roads than what a typical scenario would be, because things have been let go for so freaking long.
We're in the same boat. Our stuff is, we have to do something drastic. We can't keep doing what we're doing because it's not working. Which brings me to the, you know, the ride around and look at the road situation here. That's Saturday morning? Is that it? Still Saturday morning? Should have us a
This
conference.
Saturday.
Four.
October. Well, don't go on this side of the road. Go on the opposite side. Don't knock your teeth out on a couple of roads around here. Because there's a lot of errant roads out there. A whole lot of errant roads out there.
Can you say again how many applicants you got for the treasurer? And do you think you got more this time than in whenever it was, December?
I would say 100% we got more this time than we got last
Good.
time. I can't say with confidence how many we got, but
You feel like it's more?
it's over 6.
Yeah, I'd say at least 6. I think it's probably at least 8
I would say.
of Public Works.
Yeah.
And I want to say there's probably 4 or 5, at least 5 for the director position. Just a ballpark,
Yeah, good, thank
you
you.
know, which, because I collated my
Yep.
downloads, I was able to actually see that this morning. But
Are the road crew guys going on your road survey, condition survey with you?
I don't know.
They can't fit in the truck.
Get a second truck.
Try the roads in my truck.
Drop the road than anybody's, yeah.
You got 4 seats?
Yeah.
You just gotta ride the same.
All right. Well,
I think the road crew guys might be a good source of knowledge. The crappiest roads they can find. Take them down pretty roads.
Yeah, we'll stay off Aaron Road.
Yeah. It's that last little bit.
Okay, so we're next to up to personnel, which I think at this point we don't have anything yet with those interviews taking place, so that's good. Our correspondence is the PSAT's Unemployment Compensation Trust candidate for the Board of Trustees, and that's Corey Adams. He is the only candidate. Here is our information. Next we have the Bradford County Tax Collection Committee meeting on 9/17. And that, the next meeting is November the 19th. There's nothing crazy to report there. And the website update and maintenance, I know we had talked with Cindy a little bit about that, and there was some issue that the actual website developer was having. Do we have an update on that or not? She didn't tell me any more information. Okay, so at this time, 7:29, we'll adjourn to executive session for staff and legal concerns.
Can I ask a question before we do that?
Yep.
My name is Bonnie Cadet. I'm a resident of Mill Road. And can we go back to the bridge? You said it was all done.
Yeah, they said that the inspection will take place this next week.
The repairs.
The repair.
Okay, coming back next year, I mean, because the depth of the bridge still got rust holes in it.
Yep, so this was just a repair, and now it's on a program that they will replace.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
We haven't had any extra information on that yet either, so I'm trying to get it soon, so it's available in case there's something that needs to be questioned.
idea when they're looking at replacing that bridge? 'Cause it's,
That's the one that's on the program, so.
3 to 4 years, probably, maybe 5.
I beg your pardon, 3 to 4 years?
Yeah.
For the full replacement.
And hopefully, we don't have to pay for it, though.
I thought there were funds for it.
Pardon?
I thought there were funds for it.
There's still a match that we have to pay towards it, but what he's saying is we don't have to pay for the whole amount for that. The bridge is not gonna come out of our budget. There's, state federal funding for it.
But it
Called
won't
the
be
TIF program.
replaced for 4 or 5 years.
Right, and it's both bridges, both Miller and Moore Road. It will be a, yeah, bundle. We bundle those 2 bridges together.
Okay, well, that's on.
It's inspected every year.
Yeah.
and
No, we're on that, Miller Road's on every 3 months, isn't
Every
it?
3 months.
yeah, it's scary if they're coming every 3 months.
Yeah, well, that was the
Yeah,
repairs, the erosion that they found.
yeah, that's scary.
I know, we were there that day, and they assured us that the deck was fine. Like you said, you look at it, and it scares you. I drove over it, and
I mean, there's rust holes in it.
yes.
It's awful.
There's 10-foot sections that I deem just completely rusted out. Just, it's trash. If it lasts 3 to 4 years, I'll be surprised.
I sort of laughed when I saw the man fixing his truck there with some plywood and on the road fixing his bridge with plywood.
The problem was,
It was,
the supports underneath,
yeah,
they were concerned that the wall on the north end was gonna give out.
okay.
So that's what,
But that
they
was the
repaired.
form that they were making.
yes, it's underneath the bridge that they
Right,
fixed.
okay. I just didn't know how they're gonna fix the plywood. Thank you.
Plywood and duct tape.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Okay, so we'll adjourn to executive 7:33. What'd you say? Can we use the bill, payment and, the bill, here's the bills, things, the signature pages. The signature page of the bills.
What's
These
this?
are times, these are done, you can pay them.
Signature.
That's
It's a
right.
small one. You shouldn't even.
Oh, did I throw my stuff on top of it?
I'm sorry, I'm
You don't want it for
sorry.
this brief, I thought I got it. Good Lord.
Sorry. These are.
It's a bill.
But no, the bills. Do you want me to sign that?
I'm trying to figure out.
Lauren, do you want me to sign that?
I don't know, waiting for.
Jeepers, lady, we stuff, stuff?